This is the Fox 5 News Block.
A deadly tragedy on Long Island. A fire rips through an animal sanctuary this morning, killing a man and several cats. And a driver is facing manslaughter charges after hitting a mother and her two children while crossing Ocean Parkway in Brooklyn. Good afternoon. I'm Natasha Verma. Welcome to the News Block. Let's take a live look outside first before those stories. And look at this. The stormy weather waiting in the wings. This live look really tells the story. Let's bring in meteorologist Audrey Puente to time it all out for us. It's cloudy, a bit ominous, too.
Yeah, it looks a little dreary outside. However, it feels pretty good, Natasha. Temperatures are already above our normal highs for the day. We're in the 50s out across Long Island. That's where it's a bit cooler because of an onshore flow, but we're at 70 now in Central Park, 77 in Newark, and 73 down the shore in Belmar. A lot of these numbers much higher than they were at this time yesterday, and our winds are making an influence on the areas along the ocean shore points here. That's why we're seeing those cooler readings across Long Island and into coastal Connecticut. The winds are gusting to 26 miles per hour in Islip, gusting to 23 out at Newark and 23 in Sussex. We have a cold front approaching us, and along that front we're going to get showers and thunderstorms, and that will also help bring up the wind gusts as we go through the afternoon and evening. We're in this nice wedge of mild air here right over the northeast into Pennsylvania, but you can markedly see where the cold front is. Behind it, it's much colder off to the west where readings are in the 30s and 40s. Not much happening here as far as the radar is concerned. It's pretty quiet for now. However, things will change as we go closer to the dinner time hour. That cold front will start to march eastward, and right now it is helping to ignite severe weather down towards the southern states. We're going to see some of that move northward here, and we're going to get a chance of our own severe thunderstorms coming up. I'll have the details on the timing of that. Natasha?
All right, Audrey, thank you so much. Well, a community in shock after a fire rips through an animal sanctuary this morning on Long Island. One man has died along with several cats, and now dozens of animals are without a home. Fox 5's Jody Goldberg joins us live from Medford with the very latest. Jody?
It's absolutely devastating. We just saw one cat being carried out. He came out in a carrier with volunteers who have been here all day. And we're also told that there are a bunch alive. We're not sure how many have died. We're not sure how many are alive. But these volunteers have been working here the entire day. We're also told Chris, whose house it was living with as many as 300 cats. And let me make something clear. This was not a hoarder house. This was a cat sanctuary. That was the name of his nonprofit. Take a live look behind me. This is the house that went up in flames early this morning on Dorland Road. The home is a total loss, but officials say there are some signs of life, and volunteers, as I said, are going back and forth. We saw a cat on the roof as well as one being taken out. Police say the fire started after 7 o'clock this morning, and while they haven't officially identified the victim, the animal community says Chris Arsenal is the man who was killed inside. He founded Happy Cat Sanctuary back in 2006 after his son tragically died. And make no mistake, as I said, those who knew him tell us the house was carefully kept and the cat's living conditions was better than some people. Chris is being described as a dedicated rescuer who devoted his life to caring for cats in need, and he died trying to get as many out as he possibly could.
The inch of him went into the sanctuary. He loved every one of these cats. These are cats that people died and put outside. They were FIV positive. They were sick. They were injured. No other rescues or nobody wanted to step up and take them, but he did.
The next steps are going to be to secure the fence, make sure the animals can't get out, get food for them, fresh water for them, and vet assessments.
And now we're told this has to be a very careful and delicate process. If everyone just goes back there, not only is it still a scene, but all of the cats will go roaming around town, and that is not what they want to happen. They're taking it very carefully and step by step. No word yet on the cause of the fire. It's still under investigation. Let's send it back to you.
Yeah, so incredibly sad. Jody, thank you. A driver is facing manslaughter charges after hitting a mother and two of her children while they were crossing Ocean Parkway in Brooklyn. It happened Saturday afternoon in Midwood. Police say an Audi that was driven by 32-year-old Miriam Yarimi blew a red light, rear-ended another car, and then continued into a crosswalk, striking and killing a mother and her two daughters and critically injuring her 4-year-old son. Police say the driver had a suspended license. She's facing several other charges, including criminally negligent homicide, assault, and reckless driving.
I will call it like it is. This was a horrific tragedy caused by someone who shouldn't have been on the road.
Everyone in the other car that was hit is expected to be okay. The Israeli military orders the evacuation of most of Gaza's southern city of Rafah, this indicating it could soon launch another major ground operation in Rafah. Israel ended its ceasefire with Hamas and renewed its air and ground war earlier this month. The news comes as Palestinians mark the end of Ramadan amid the devastation of the war. Dozens of worshippers held prayer services Sunday in a vacant lot next to a demolished mosque in the central Gaza Strip. Well, stocks took a tumble this morning ahead of President Trump's Liberation Day tariffs announcement on Wednesday. The president hasn't given specific details on his announcement, but he's promising to roll out a set of tariffs on foreign goods. The fear is that American companies will then pass on those added costs to consumers, resulting in higher prices for Americans. The president says he wants to announce taxes on imported goods, including reciprocal tariffs, which would match the rates that were charged by other countries. On Air Force One headed back to the White House, the president was asked about how many countries will be included at first.
You'd start with all countries, so let's see what happens.
Tariffs are tax cuts, tariffs are jobs, tariffs are national security, tariffs are great for America.
That is a tax. That money doesn't come falling out of the sky.
There's also the possibility that the tariffs will not last very long if Trump can make a deal after imposing them. Congressman Josh Gottheimer announcing new actions to protect New Jersey families from Trump's tariffs. Gottheimer is introducing an act that would require the president to submit a clear strategy to Congress to justify imposing tariffs for emergency purposes. Gottheimer says he's fighting to lower costs and make life more affordable for those in New Jersey. Everything was coming up tulips in Union Square. The park was transformed yesterday for Tulip Day NYC with 170,000 tulips on display. Among those sponsoring the event was Royal Anthos, which has represented Dutch companies that have traded flower bulbs since the 1900s. Registered participants were able to pick their own bouquets to take them home. And we'll be right back.
Master anything with the fastest wireless speeds from Spectrum.
Welcome back. Mayor Adams thanking state leaders at City Hall today for including his Axe the Tax for the working class proposal in next year's state budget. The proposal brings tax relief to working class families by eliminating and cutting city personal income taxes for more than 582,000 filers and their dependents. The plan would return over $63 million to New Yorkers.
So that means a single mom making under $31,000 will see her city income tax eliminated. A family of four struggling to get by here in the city by making less than $46,000 a year would not have to worry about another tax they have to pay.
If it goes into effect, the mayor's plan could bring relief to working class families as soon as tax year 2025. The city will start enforcing its new composting rules tomorrow. New Yorkers who don't separate compostable waste from regular trash will face fines. It applies to food, leaf, and yard waste. Buildings with up to 8 units will be hit with a $25 fine for the first offense and up to $100 for multiple offenses. Buildings with 9 or more units face an initial $100 fine, which then climbs to $300 with multiple offenses. And outdoor dining starts in the city tomorrow as well. According to the city's DOT, 2,600 establishments have been approved to operate on roadways or sidewalks under the Dining Out NYC program. The outdoor dining program runs through November 29th. Well, artificial intelligence is all around us, from being used as a tool in the medical field to creating a travel plan. AI is changing the game for a variety of industries, including the vineyard. Fox's Tom Vakar uncorks how artificial intelligence is helping to make wine in Napa.
Palmaz Winery on Napa County's Mount George is using artificial intelligence to produce prized wines after a quarter century of doing it the traditional way. Now, the goal to sharply reduce the tedious details winemakers currently must go through, and that detracts from the essence of their craft.
That's the desirable part, where the winemaker feels they're truly, expressing themselves in the product.
Modern winemaking is so complex, the winemaker is often too buried in non-creative work.
they can take a little more risk, they can be a little more daring, and they can express themselves a little bit more.
By flying artificially intelligent infrared and other sensors over the 64-acre vineyard twice a week, Palmaz gets the data that tells the winemaker exactly what's going on down there to the individual vine. Then they can go to the specific location to see if it's a broken water line, clogged draining, disease, or infestation.
And 9 times out of 10, we can figure it out pretty quickly.
The other AI tool senses what's going on inside 24 fermenters measured at 1.5 million different points. That causes the fermenter to automatically adjust temperatures and other processes precisely at the time they need to be, anytime within the process.
Essentially operating at an optimal level and at the level the winemaker wants. And this is designed to free up the winemaker so that they can focus on the things that you can't put numbers to, right? The things you can see, smell, taste, and feel.
Rob McMillan, Silicon Valley Bank's founder of winery financing, says AI will revolutionize the industry on many levels, and Palmaz has set the stage.
If you really want to understand the limits of it right now, go take a tour of the winery. It's really quite astounding to see what can and is being done.
But AI is only a tool. Nature and the winemakers remain the masters.
It's still the vineyard, right? It's still the raw ingredients. It's still a human expression.
Let's talk about the weather now. We take a live look outside. Storms are on the way. You can see it's super cloudy out there. It just sets the scene. Let's get things now from Audrey. But it's so nice outside, the temperatures.
Yes, the temperatures are very comfortable and will be above average for the rest of the afternoon. But we do have a risk of severe thunderstorms right through tonight. And I believe the worst of the weather will be roughly between 6 p.m. and 11 p.m. with the main threats being hail, damaging winds, and heavy rainfall. A look at the futurecast shows that we're right now dry across the tri-state area. However, there's a cold front that's in our vicinity, and as it marches eastward, we're going to see showers and storms develop along it, and they will blossom by the time we get into 7 or 8 o'clock tonight, passing through the city, then eventually moving eastward into Long Island by 10 p.m. Same thing across Connecticut, and then everything kind of shifts off to the east here. The intensity kind of dies down after midnight, and then we'll wake up to much drier weather as we go into our Tuesday. Tuesday looks great. Plenty of sunshine behind the front, though. Temperatures will drop back to more normal temperatures for this time of year, mostly in the upper 40s to mid 50s. And it looks like on Wednesday we'll start off the day quiet before our next rainmaker starts to make its approach. But this one, I think, will affect the Hudson Valley to start before another front comes in by the end of the week. So in the meantime today, keep an eye to the sky after about 4 or 5 o'clock. We're watching for showers and storms for tonight. We're going with a high of 72 degrees. Tomorrow we're in the 50s. We stay there for Wednesday and then back into the 70s by Thursday. Natasha?
Sounds good, Audrey. Thank you. A massive 176-pound Dubai chocolate bar was divvied up to chocolate lovers at a festival in Portugal over the weekend. The sweet treat has become a viral sensation in recent months, combining chocolate with a crunchy pistachio filling and Godiva pastry. That's your news block for now. I'm Natasha Verma. Thanks so much for joining us. Tune into the 5 o'clock news on Fox 5 and right here on Fox Local for all the day's news as it develops. We'll see you back here.